Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so who do we have in our chat tonight? We got David Clark, we have David Stockdale, 3D printing and painting. That's my good friend Jerry Knapp. And then we've got John Kitchen. Well, welcome everybody. I'm starting about 5 minutes earlier today. Hey, there's Paul Cumber. I'm doing much better. I'm still having a little bit of issues with my pinky. I can't quite straighten it like I can this one, so this one's still a little crooked. Let me turn down some audio here. There we go. I'm by myself tonight. Error 440, press Alt F4 to continue. Hello, sir. Miles Clayton. Hey, Miles, how you doing? There is no Brian tonight, Rex, but hello, I'm here. I hope that's okay. Jake from State Farm. Yo, he says. Oh, yes, I'm in the studio tonight. We're gonna broadcast from here. This way we won't have any dropouts. You know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of things I want to talk about tonight. And as usual, I'm going to answer your questions. Show you some things that we've got coming up on the show. What else we got? I'm going to show you one of my new toys for when I'm teaching classes. I can see the chat down here, so if you see me looking down, it means I'm looking at the chat. Hey, there's DPark88, Squeeze Studios. Hello to both of you. I'm doing much better, Miles. I'm back in the studio. Today I recorded 2 episodes. I have 2 more episodes that need a little bit of fine tuning. And I may actually get one more recorded before I leave here today. I kind of I cleaned up first and then things just kind of progressed from there. Hey, there's Chris Galata. Good evening, sir. Hey, how do you guys like this new purple t-shirt of mine? Do you guys like that? So error 404, press Alt F4 to continue. You need a smaller name. I'm printing CR10S Micro Swiss upgrade and BMG extruder printing PMG now, or PETG now. Hopefully that is going well. Like the purple, so do I. You guys can get these at Teespring. Let me see if I can find our Teespring thing for you, and then that way I can give you guys the link and you can go and find one for yourself. Until the end of the month, I want to remind you guys that we've got everything in our Teespring store at 20% off if you use the coupon code Mayflowers, all one word and all in caps. I'm just going to go grab that now. See, normally Brian grabs this stuff while I'm yapping away. But of course, Brian's not with me tonight. Brian is up in Nordig doing some work for his company. So unfortunately, he's not with me tonight. I just want to make sure you guys have the right t-shirts and right place to go to. I like the purple. I kind of think I've got a gray one here too. I got one of each. There we go. Go and grab that for you guys, and we will get to it. We're going to run that intro in about 2 seconds. Give me just 1 second to grab this. Bring it back over here to my chat. Paste that. There you go. there is a link to the Teespring, and let's go and run that intro. Hey, welcome to the First Layer live stream, which we do every Saturday night, or at least we attempt to. I want to say hi to Rick Landon. He got in just as I was trying to find stuff. So welcome, Rick Landon. He's from Virginia, USA. Well, I'm up here in the north of, well, I'm not in the north. I'm north of you, but I'm in Canada. There's HVAC A to Z. Hello. No hat again. No. My hair's getting a little long to wear a hat, and it kind of pokes out like I'm Bozo the Clown. So, a couple things I want to talk about. First and foremost, of course, you guys know I just put a link into our chat, so it is there for you to utilize. It is our Teespring First Layer store, so you can get yourself one of these fancy dancy t-shirts. You can get it in both purple and dark gray, or you can get yourself a coffee mug, whatever you want. And remember to use the promo code MAYFLOWERS, all one word, till the end of May. You'll get 20% off your order. Robert Marvin, hello, sir. Mr. Buttram, hello, sir. So I've got my laptop here so that I can talk to you guys. There's Eggy the Tech. Hello. I'm going to spend a couple minutes saying hello to everybody because I don't get a chance to do that very often. And I have to look at the chat today because Brian's not here. So a couple things I've done over the last little while. Let me make sure I'm on the right camera there. Okay. I got in some things to utilize here in the studio. And one of the things, as you guys know, I did a little video on this stuff. It's called Dust and Print. And I'm just going to put it there so you guys can see it. Dust and Print, I got to tell you, I really like this stuff. It's the ABS Salute Anti-Warping 3D Printer Bed Adhesive. Now, it's so much better for more than just ABS. It's for PLA, ABS, ASA, nylon, PC, TPU, PETG, and a whole lot more. So if you guys get a chance, go to dustandprint.com, get yourself a sample of this stuff, and we will be utilizing this here in the studio real soon again. Really like it. It really sticks well. It keeps your part in place when you're printing on glass. Rick Landon, if it's free to learn about Xbox Scanner, I'm guessing by your broken English or your bad typing skills, one or the other, that you want to learn more about 3D scanning. And we've got an episode coming up in the next couple of Wednesdays. As you guys know, I told you on Thursday, on the last live stream that we did, which was kind of impromptu, that we're moving our show now to Wednesdays, and we'll still do a live stream Saturday night. We're going down to once a week. I'm just so busy here at the store now that I can't get into my office to sit down and actually record a couple of episodes. So I can come in on a Saturday and record 3, sometimes maybe 4 episodes, and get them into a state where all I have to do is edit them. Hey, there's Raymond Emsley, my good friend. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. And I'll see you back here on Monday, by the way, Raymond. One of the things I want to talk about tonight is temperature towers. Now, you guys have seen me do videos on temperature towers before. I'm getting ready to do another one for Cura 4.0. I believe very strongly about doing temperature towers. Now, I'll tell you why. Because on these temperature towers, they usually go from 240 to 190, and I'll just switch cameras here and I'll show you guys what I mean. Maybe you guys can see that okay there. So this is a temperature tower. And what it's designed to do is it's designed to show you where you're getting your best adhesion at what temperature. It's also going to give you an indication of where you're going to get your best bridging, edge work, where you're getting your sharpest edge, some overhang work, so on and so forth. I really like this temperature tower. It's become my favorite, and I think that everybody should download this. Just go over to Thingiverse and you'll be able to find it there. There we go. Cut back to me. Time when you're airing. I will be airing that probably within the next 2 to 3 Wednesdays. So I'm going to think it's going to be right around the beginning of June, which will be that one, Rick. And Rick's asking about the 3D scanning with the Xbox 360 Connect. And then there's Fused Cactus. Hello, sir. Or ma'am. Or, with the names here, I can look at the faces and I know the Fused Cactus is the man. Hey, there's David Harmon. Evening, everyone. David, I wanted you to come on and be a guest host tonight, but you didn't answer my call, so that's okay. That's all right. Maybe next time. So I want everybody to start doing a temperature tower. Now, the reason that I want you to do one of these is because it is going to give you an indication, an actual clear indication of what the filament is doing for you. This is one for PLA. You can get them for PETG and for ABS as well, because they've got, this one's just temperatures for PLA. Now, that being said, these temperature towers, it doesn't matter if you're using the same brand of filament. Reason I want you guys to start doing this is because from color to color, temperatures and printing conditions can change for your filaments. So whether you're using different manufacturers' filaments or you're changing color within the same manufacturer's filaments, temperature towers are a really good idea. And then just keep them in a drawer, mark them, with a label of some sort, a piece of tape, and that should give you a clear indication of how your printer is working with different filaments. I see we got Chris Riley. Hello, sir. Glad to see you here. Chris Galata, I did say hello to you. There's Hoppy Nacky. And that is about it. David Harmon says, sorry, it's game night. I'll be leaving early. So it's 2100 hours your time on the East Coast on we released them at 5 o'clock on our time on Wednesdays now. We do our new episodes on Wednesdays. That's what Rick is asking. So it'll be 5 o'clock my time on the East Coast. It's 2 hours more, so 7 o'clock your time. Artemio, error name changed. Artemio, that's an interesting name. Hey, David Clark, top of the morning. Chris Riley. Chris Riley very seldomly joins us here, and yet we've invited him I don't know how many times. It's these big YouTube celebrities that, don't visit us little guys in Canada. I'm just yanking your chain there, Chris. I do appreciate you being here. New palette firmware was released today, according to Chris Galata. I'm sorry, I'm drinking a lot of water tonight because it's very dry here in the studio. So we'll be looking into that in a little bit. We got Super Chat turned on tonight. So, temperature tower, we've covered that. For any of you guys, it's kind of off topic, but for any of you guys that have a YouTube channel, or are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I am going to say to get yourselves a copy of YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. These guys are just amazing fellas. They've got great information, And I like this book so much. Not only do I have it in paperback, but I've also got it in audiobook and in digital format. So you can learn a lot. It's the ultimate guide to growing your following and making money as a video influencer. So check those guys out. Where is he located? Okay, I missed some stuff here. Let's find out. I was sharing that my PETG print is now printing well. I figured out how to print thing filament today. Okay, that's from Artemio. Where is he located? I'm located in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Raymond, why haven't I set you up yet as a moderator on this channel? I'm going to set you up as a moderator. Raymond, I've just added you as a moderator to the channel. So, Raymond now has the power to kick people out. One of the other things that I got in this week, Brian brought back for me from Toronto when he was out there, from filaments.ca, Canada's source for 3D printing materials. This is Purge Filament. I'll cut back to this camera here that I've got going on. There we go. So this is Purge Filament. This is a sample of their Purge Filament. What this stuff is supposed to do for you is help to clean out your hot end. Now there's specific instructions on the back. I've got a few that I'm probably going to end up giving away. I've got some, here, got some extras that I'm probably going to give away. I haven't tried this yet, but I am going to be doing a video on it very soon. Hey, Mark Hart. Hey, there's the Canadian Maker Project as well. Welcome, everybody. Another thing that we got coming up, and Brian keeps telling me not to spoil videos that I'll be doing here in the very near future, and I can't help it. I can't keep a secret. So one of the things I got coming up here real soon is the Creality BL Touch. Now, this is a genuine BL Touch. Let me open it up and show you guys. This is the version for version 2 boards. And inside it is a version 3 genuine BL Touch. Look at that. Look at that. So we're going to be installing that onto a printer very soon. Comes with everything you need with the bracket, and it's not a 3D printed bracket either. It is a metal bracket. So Rick Landon saying he runs one Prusa and one Folger Tech. Artemio, BL Touch, what this is a sensor for auto bed leveling. I like these more than inductive or capacitive sensors personally. I have one on this machine behind me that's running. And I think that these are way more accurate than the other forms of bed leveling that are out there other than laser sensor. So what this does is it drops a pin down, and when that pin gets to a certain pushed in state, it will retract, and then it will move to its next spot, and it will probe the bed depending on how much you tell it to probe. It'll probe the bed in a certain grid and give you a representation of what your bed is. So a BL Touch, we're going to show you how to install this one on a Creality machine in the very near future. And I got my hands on one of these. This is the Ender 3 Silent Board. If you're ordering an Ender 3 board, here's what I want to stress to you guys. The Ender 3 board, I'll open it up here and I'll go back to this camera. The Ender 3 board, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that. But this board has 2208 silent steppers on it, and it's a direct replacement for the Creality version 1.1.4 that is now in the Ender 5, the Ender 3, and I think it's in all of the Ender models. I could be wrong about that. Rick or Chris Riley, if I'm wrong about that, please let me know. But as far as I know, this is a direct replacement only for the Enders and for the original CR10. This will not fit into your CR10S or CR10S4 or 5. Chris Travis, hello, welcome. Jake says, throw that board in the trash. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to throw it onto an Ender 3 here, and we're going to see how silent it actually is. So because I know in this one that I've got back here, this one has an MKS Gen L board in it with 2208 steppers, and it's quite silent. You guys can hardly hear it now. I think right now all you're hearing is the fans for the most part. And I'm rocking a 36-hour print, 39-hour print, something like that on there. Now, Mark Hart, as far as I know, this does have the bootloader already on it. David Stockwell also does not have a bootloader like they state. I love mine now that I figured that issue out. Oh, okay. So you didn't get yours with a bootloader. That's interesting. Because my understanding is that these are supposed to have the latest firmware from Creality put on them already. The silent board is not in any machines. It is an upgrade, but they don't update the version number. That's right. This is an upgrade to the existing board that is in the Ender class machines. This is not going to be in your Ender Pro. This is not going to be in your Ender 3. This is not going to be in the Ender 5. You have to order this as an add-on product, and all you simply do is pull out the old board and put this one in. Like I said, I'm going to go through that in an upcoming video, but I wanted to see exactly how silent this actually was, so we're going to run a test of before and after. We'll do some audio tests with that and let you guys know what our findings are. So Johnny Gardner says, do you have a picture of the CR10S Pro board with what pins go where for the BL Touch? I do not have a diagram for that yet. I have requested one from Creality, and I still have not gotten one. So I will look into that for you as well. And welcome, Johnny. I didn't see you enter the room there. David Stockdale, no, as far as I know, the latest firmware, and I have confirmed this myself, the latest firmware for the Ender class machines all has thermal protection turned on. If you've got one that doesn't have thermal protection turned on, then you are running an older board or an older version of the firmware. Their latest version is 1.1.6 for their firmware. TH3D did video on one of these boards, and they verified it did not come with a bootloader. Okay, well, we'll double check that when we go to put this in the machine. We'll find out, and of course, we're going to update the firmware anyway, so that'll be a good thing for us to check on. You know, whether you MKS it or you go like I did here with the MKS Gen L on this machine, or you go ahead and let me see if I can show you that machine. You can see it there in the edge. There we go. All right, so this machine over here, right now I'm doing a piece for hot end. This hot end is for, of course, teaching and demonstration purposes. And I'm doing it on the CR10, or pardon me, on the Ender 3, which for all intent and purposes, this is no longer an Ender 3. I've got an MKS Gen L board with 2208 silent steppers in this one. That's why the machine's so quiet. I still am using the stock fans both here and on the cooler. I do have an MK or a Micro Swiss all metal hot end on this one. I've upgraded the extruder to the aluminum extruder. What else am I getting ready to do? I am going to switch out the power supply on the back side. That one needs to go, and I will be putting in the Meanwell replacement. And of course we've got some Capricorn PTFE tube in there as well. And I did change out the screen just so that I could have SD card support on it again. So let's have a look and see what people are saying here. So David Stockdale says no, he's saying that the newest 1.1.4 board with 2208s did not have it installed. That's interesting. I'm going to have to double check this one and make sure that it is installed. Jafter Dark, that's actually kind of neat, Jafter Dark. I'd like to see the BL Touch installed on the Sidewinder X1. When I get my hands on a Sidewinder X1, I will do my best to install one for you. Artemio, I want to say the reason I bought my Micro Swiss hot end and upgrade to the BMG extruder was because of your videos. I watched them to help me install. So thank you. Oh, well, thank you very much for watching them. I appreciate it. Glad you got something out of them. This printer back here is the Ender 3, not the Ender 3 Pro. How do I like the Canadian Maker Project? So this is my good friend Ron. So how do you like the upgrade to the MKS? Is it worth it? It was worth every penny. With the 2208 TMC drivers on there, and I believe I put an LV 8729 on the extruder. I find the extruder's a little bit noisy, but not nearly what it was before. I think it works great. I've not had any failed prints. As you can see here, this is, again, this is going to be a teaching aid when we do our next class, which is coming up on July 6th at SATE. So if anybody is in the Calgary area and would like to attend our next class on a build and learn, to learn how to build and learn a little bit more about your 3D printer and the software that goes along with it, you can go to spool3d.ca and just look up build and learn and sign up. We only have 10 spots available this time, so those spots will go fast. Snapshot FPV, hello sir, the PTFE tube you have, what's the optimum length? Wow, I've never even really thought about that. Basically what I did was I bought a meter and I took the old one off of the machine and literally just cut the new one to the length of the old one. So yeah, I like the all metal hot ends. I have one right here as a matter of fact. I like these Micro Swiss hot ends. These things are, because they're direct bolt-on replacement. Go back to this camera here and I'll just swing it down. So these are a direct bolt-on replacement. There's the, I don't know how well you guys can see that there, but that's the cooling block. Well done. And there is the throat. Very different from the throat that we see in the Ender or on the Crealities. I wish I had a throat apart here for you. And then you get a bunch of other little stuff, plus the block, plus the nozzle. So you get a whole bunch of goodies in there for 82 bucks. I think it's worth every penny. And if you are a Creality owner, I recommend that this be one of your first. Did I use the Wattrit step sticks? Yes, I did actually. But yeah, I do believe that this is the best one to go with. I'm going to that camera again like I shouldn't be. I have, oh, not that one. Let's see, right there. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. See how close I can get to this camera. Now, I don't know how well in there you guys can see that, but that is all caked up in there. And that is backfill of the plastic. Now, there's been many videos out there on these hot ends from Creality. And the first big major misconception is about those screws that hold the block to the cooling section. Now, a lot of people were saying that those actually transmit heat and cause heat creep up into the cold zone, when in fact they do not, because they only come up as far as there. So you guys can see there that it only comes up to where my fingernail is sticking in. So they don't go any higher. So it's impossible for them to radiate heat up through those fins. What causes a heat creep in these is that throat. That throat that's in there, right in the very center of those two screws, that's what's causing your heat creep. So when this gets hot, as you know, metal expands, but your PTFE liner does not expand. So what's happening is it's backfilling around that PTFE liner, and that's where you're starting to experience clogs and all kinds of nonsense. So, in all honesty, if you're going to upgrade, I would say upgrade to the Micro Swiss. Stop spending $25 a head on the Creality ones, because they're just crap. Hey, there's Ben Brady. Welcome, sir. Larry Bibby. Hello. Yes, Chris Travis, with the Micro Swiss, it does not. You are absolutely correct. The PTFE liner does not, or PTFE tube does not have to be quite as long. But you know what? For all intent and purposes, I just left it the same length. Larry Bibby, hi. I like the good information you and Chris give away. My silly question is, what are your settings for the most and the LV 9728? That would be an 8927. Are they 1/6? Yes, they are 1/16. You are correct. I'm using 1/16. As far as the settings, the voltage settings, I hope that's what you're referring to on the 2208s. I've got them all set to right around 0.05 volts, and they all seem to work really fine. They're not giving off a lot of heat. They seem to do the job that I need them to do. So, hey, there's Rover. Hello, Rover. MKS 2208s. Yes, I am using or not the MKS 2208s. I'm using the Watrot or Waterrot 2208s. Just upgraded to the Bondtech Direct Drive for Creality. Ben, let me know how that turns out for you, because I'd be very, very interested. All right, David, you have yourself a good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll get you on the show yet. So there you go. Wow, this first half hour just kind of flew by. It is so dry in here and so hot. I've got more lights in here today than I've ever had before. Chris Travis, saw the Zesty Nimble at Murph, and it looks very interesting. I've been hearing little rumblings about the Zesty Nimble, and I'd love to get my hands on one. If anybody knows where I can get one, what the company is, please let me know, and I will reach out to them and see if we can't get one on the show, and see if you guys want to see us do something with that. Yeah, it's metered at 5 millivolts, Rick. Yeah, it's metered at 5 millivolts. He's just asking, for anybody that's not aware, he's just asking about what I've got the driver set to on the potentiometer. You're shocked that I'm in the studio and not in the home studio. Well, we've been having problems with our internet connection as of late. It seems when more people are on my internet at home, the less it works well. So I was here today, and doing I was doing recording because now I'm recording here in the studio on Saturdays. So if you're in the Calgary area and you can't get down here during the week, let me know. Send me a message, and I will be around on most Saturdays in here doing recording till I can kind of get ahead of the game. So I'm kind of batching my recording. I'm doing 2 to 3 episodes every time I'm in here. Okay. Fused Cactus, what upgrades would you do to the Anycubic 4 Max first? I built that machine when we first got it. I did a review on it. I don't think I would do a whole lot to it. I don't think it really needs to have anything done to it. Out of the box, it's a pretty good machine. Um, you know, I don't think you really have to do much. Maybe change the PTFE liner. You're going to definitely want to go at some point in time to a stainless steel or a hardened steel nozzle. If you're going to go that route, you want to make sure that you've got an all metal head to go with it so that you don't get any surprises when you're trying to print with other materials. What upgrades would you do? Okay, I read that one. Da, 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 da. Yes, Jerry Knapp from 3D printing and painting. You do have to get more videos out. I was in the same boat, so Ben Brady is got his own YouTube channel up and running now. So everybody go and check him out. Give him a sub. I'm gonna check more into that Zesty Tech and make sure that I can get my hands on a Nimble version 1.2 and go from there. Thank you, Chris, Travis, David Clark, everybody who brought that to my attention. I'm going to just switch over here to which input am I going to go to? Uh, I'm going to go to input 9. There we go. See my fat head down in the corner. And we're just going to switch that. There we go. So this is the write-up on the Bondtech. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. The way that this thing works, it looks like it's a direct replacement for the existing hot end that is on your current Creality CR10 printer. And it plugs right in. I want to show this. You see this plug here? That plugs directly into the box on your CR10. You can see everything's already in there. It looks like it's going to be a decent little upgrade for those that want direct instead of Bowden. I have no problem with Bowden. I think it works fine. But then again, I have a Bondtech on one of my CR10s at home, and I'm going to start putting some flexibles in it very, very soon just to see how they work. Chris Travis, I bought the See Me CNC Easy Extruder at Murph, then saw the Zesty Nimble. I'm not really up on the the CNC stuff from Earth, or the See Me CNC stuff. I've seen their name around. I've caught a little bit of their stuff, but I haven't really gotten any of it. I do want to get more. Ben, thank you for sharing your channel. Hello to Ken. I use Bondtech on my Ender and my Prusa. I love them, David Stockdale says. Great. Thank you, David. Anybody looking for parts, you can certainly find parts on spool3d.ca's website if you're interested in that. If you're in Canada, they ship anywhere in Canada. Actually, they ship anywhere in the world. But if you're in Canada and your order is over $140, you'll get free shipping. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And with some of these parts, they are fairly expensive. I can see we're having a little bit of issues with our baud rate just dropping down a little bit. But it should be coming in. Still pretty good. Now, what else did I want to show you guys tonight? This model, I'm going to talk a little bit about this model that I've started to do here. This is, oh, wrong one. Let's switch back that feed to the right one. There we go. This is the E3D V6 cutaway hot end. This is available on Thingiverse. The person who designed this and put it together escapes me right now, but I'm using this as a tool now to explain to people where they are getting their issues from when they're getting clogging and when they're getting filaments coming out through the wrong holes, and why these need to be tightened, and how to make them tight and get yourself a good extruder going. And this is pretty much the same principle for any hot end that you're going to use. Ron says, Murph was a nutty place this year. The ERF is in October and been nuts for me. We're looking at maybe going to ERF this year. Myself, Brian, and Derek, or at least me and Derek, if something else doesn't pan out. Running a See Me CNC Easy Extruder. The Nimble was too pricey, and their prototype version 2 they had at Murph looked worth waiting for. Okay. Hey, there's Nerd Girls 3D Printing. Just sub to 3D Printing Texan. There you go. eSun. I did talk about eSun. I did the eSun filament storage box. I recorded that today. That's going to be coming out in another week or so. I cannot print NinjaFlex with Easy Extruder, even though Shep was able to do it. Once I get an Easy Extruder in here, I'll see if I can print it. What is NinjaFlex? Or which NinjaFlex? Try the Cheetah. Mark Stadola says. What happened with it, Chris Travis? Hey, there's Nerd Girl again. Rick Landon, trade war of USA, China. Does that have anything to do with Canada? Yes and no. If parts are made in China originally and you're ordering from Canada, I do believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I do believe you're going to have to pay the tariffs because the originating company is China. So Chris is saying that the NinjaFlex is binding up about halfway through. So, and he's only printing at 20 millimeters per second. Wow. You need to go slow with NinjaFlex? Okay. I've not used too many flexibles, so I'm still kind of a babe in the woods when it comes to flexible material. I do have to print some more. I've got some up here. I've got some TPU and TPE that I want to try. Mark Stadola says, yes, slow, 10 millimeters per second. Okay, that's something to keep an eye out for, definitely. Hey, there's Ken Jansen. Hello, Ken. There's a different sensor like the BL Touch called Touch MI. David Clark says the Touch MI, as far as I know, David, is a knockoff of the BL Touch. And I have several BL Touches right here in front of me. When you're ordering a BL Touch, here's kind of a weird thing. There's several different BL Touches available now, and the one that I've got here is a version 2, and I do have a version 3 here somewhere. There it is. So there's two BL Touches out in the wild right now. There's a version 2.2, which is this one, and the version 3, which is this one. Now, physically, there's no difference between the two. There is something different on the inside, and I really don't know exactly what it is yet. I'm going to find out, but I do know that the version 3 does not work on the older Creality boards. There's something to do with one of the capacitors. I believe it's capacitor 7 that should have been taken off the board. It wasn't, but that'll help to get your BL Touch 3 working. Now, when you're ordering these, most places now are going to have version 3, but you can see here I've got different cable sets available as well. So you've got the XM or SM XDs. Now, this is one that plugs directly into the back of your BL Touch. So you would unplug the short cable that comes with it, and you'd plug in this cable and extend it out to 1.5 meters. Then you have the EX version, which basically just ties in to the existing cables on these right now. And then we have the FBs. This is a kit. You make up your own cable. So there's 3 different cables on the market. That is the XD, the FB, and the EX. So, hey, One Raz, there we are. Hello, sir. You know any nozzle bigger than a 0.4 and the CRX compatible? Creality only have a 0.4 size. I don't understand why. Saul, yes, you can buy on the CRX. I believe it's still a 0.8 nozzle or a Mark 8 nozzle, MK8. So look for an MK8 that should fit. If not, it'll be an MK10, and they come in a variety of different sizes. You can use any one of those. Getting back to the BL Touch, you can also get replacement pins for the BL Touch if you should knock it off. Hey, there's RT, my good friend Richard Taylor. So the capacitor, Ben says, is there to reduce bounce that is caused in the signal by the cheap mechanical end stop switches. I see. Okay. Hey, there's Brian Baker. Sorry for being late. Steak night in camp. Yeah, he's got steak. What did I have? I had a salad. Thanks, Brian. You're buying steak when you come home. So we got about 15 minutes left. What are your questions, you guys? Let's get some questions here. All right, so Brian, well, we got a lot of people in the chat tonight. I'm just going to have a quick peek over here on Facebook, and I know there was a couple of messages that came in there, so let me just quickly check that. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, nothing there of any real importance, so I don't have to worry about that. All right. Yes, Brian does make big bucks. Yes, as Ben said, it's a noise filter for the line. It will filter out mini oscillations, but due to how it works, it delays the filter out and the high-speed signal from the BL Touch. Okay. Oh, you guys and your steak. I hate you all. RT, what would you use Silk PLA for? I'd probably use Silk PLA for something I was giving my wife. For lack of if I was going to do one of those fangled hearts for Valentine's Day, I might do it in Silk PLA. A vase I might do in Silk PLA. Anything I was going to give away to somebody else that could appreciate the feel of Silk PLA. Flexi gear setup. I don't know anything about a flexi gear setup. Have you printed TPU or PETG on the CR10S? I've printed PETG on the CR10S with my Bondtech extruder, and it works great. I've had no problems. I have not printed flexibles or TPU, Artemio. Do I know anything about the SKR 1.3 boards? Brian does. That's the new 32-bit board, I believe, and that is that's Brian's alley. He's going to be doing a video on that pretty soon. Best way to connect RGB light to an Ender 3 Pro. Best way to attach a light to an Ender 3 Pro. I really don't know. I haven't done it yet. Do you want me to do a video on that? We can do a video on that. The meaning to ask, what printers do you have in the office at the first layer? Here I have here, let me just put this camera back up so you guys can kind of see over there. I'll switch to it. Boop. There we go. Boy, the color on this camera isn't great because now my purple shirt looks more blue. We have a Duplicator 6 here in the office from Wanhao, and then I have my Frankenstein Ender 3. That's what we've got over here. Nerd Girl 3D printing. The first layer, what 3D printer would you recommend for beginners if they are in your beginners in this party chat? If they're beginners in this party chat. Okay. In all honesty, so I'm talking to you and not talking, not seeing this side. Nerd Girls 3D printing, I would recommend the Ender 3 Pro. The reason I recommend that one is pretty self-explanatory. It's inexpensive at $349 Canadian. It's easy to assemble. It's easy to understand. And it's pretty quick to get up and printing with it. Now, that being said, in the course that we just did last Saturday, that course went really well. Out of all of the people that were in our course, only one person really had to get a little bit of extra help, but that was okay. No problems there. We were happy to help. And I think everybody's prints came off really good, and they all had homework to do. And some of that homework I'm going to be rolling into some additional episodes regarding the Ender 3 Pro and regarding some stuff that's coming up. Chris Travis, my wife collects angels. I printed an angel in silk silver for her for tomorrow's Mother's Day. Well, congratulations. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, by the way. Yes, please. You'd like to see, okay. What were your settings? What were my settings for what? For the PLA? I'm not quite sure. Deepak, I'll probably do a video on RGB soon. That's Brian Baker saying that. He designs RGB controllers. Yes, he's the electrical wizard. Good evening, everyone. There's SPC3D. Rick Landon, Cura work that printer? Yes, Cura does work for the Ender 3 Pro. What we did in the class is we used the latest version of Cura, Cura 4.0. I did up a special little disc for the class, a little SD card that had some additional models on it. It had some tips and tricks that we put on there as well. So if anybody is interested in getting their hands on that or some of that information, just drop me a private message on Facebook and we'll see if we can't get that out to you. What filament can you use in aquariums and which paint product? David Clark. That's actually a great question. No plastic is what? How can I say this? No plastic is without its faults. PLA cannot go into an aquarium because it'll just deteriorate over time because, as you know, it's made from cornstarch. ABS might be a good option for you. I think some products that go into aquariums are made from ABS. PETG certainly might be an option. I don't know if colored a PETG. We had somebody here in the shop at Spool 3D mentioning that yellow gave off some sort of weird vibe in their aquarium. So that's something that we can investigate. I don't own an aquarium myself, so I really couldn't tell you. Brian's not ignoring your question about aquariums. We are going to do more of our year of the maker this year. We haven't done a whole lot. The whole beginning of this year, the whole first quarter was just a freaking write-off for us. And toxic to fish. Wow, Rick Landon. Which plastic do you find toxic to fish? Is it PETG, ABS? Your audio is dropping, Chris Galata says. It shouldn't be. My audio should be doing just fine. So Artemio says that he graduates from the University of Houston Industrial Design Program. If you ever need a 3D file modified, let him know. Well, thank you very much. You are Brian. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Brian, just me. ABS is it's toxic in fish tanks? Okay. That's good to know. 3D printing PA sounds fine. Yeah, what's your degree in, Artemio? I'd be interested to know. Audio's fine in Vegas. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Wow, this hour's just flown by. We've only got about 7 minutes left. There we go. We'll show that one. Oh, congrats on your graduation. I agree. Congrats on your graduation. Bum, bum, bum. There's Earl. Nerd Girls 3D printing. Have we met? I'm not sure if we've met or not. We may have. I hope so. Yes, again, congratulations to Artemio for his graduation. So just before we get wrapped up here, I want to remind you that we do have some merch in our store over on Teespring. I'm just going to pop that back in the chat here again. You can get 20% off till the end of May. Anything in the store, and anything that comes in, we really appreciate that. You got to use the code Mayflowers at checkout, the promo code, and you'll get 20% off your order. We got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got coffee mugs. Mine's on my desk over there. Okay, this is a cool site. Be sure to share any cool designs on the Facebook group. Yes, I agree. Want me to send maker coins I got at Murph to show off? I would love you to. If you want to send them over again, Ron, we'd be happy to to show them off for you over here. You should actually do a video on them at your place. That's what I say. You should do them at your place. But if you want to send them to me, I'd be happy to go ahead and do a video on them for you. Now, we are looking to collaborate with other YouTubers here in the near future. I want to do some interviews with some of our other 3D printing YouTube friends. This coming Wednesday at 7. No, at 5. This coming Wednesday at 5 o'clock my time. 7 p.m. in the east. 4 p.m. in the west. And 6 p.m. Central Time. Hey, there's Luis. "3D Printing PA, he posts his pictures. Nerd Girls 3D Printing, you live in the UK. Well, I'm sorry. We should meet sometime, though. Audio sounds great here. Robert Marvin, thank you, sir. 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. There you go. Brian's got it. Brian Baker, not sure if I'm subbed to you. What's your channel address? I don't know. Brian does have his own channel. I'm sure he does. Absolutely sure he does, but I could be wrong about that. It's not like I'm right about everything. So if you guys are interested in getting some of our t-shirts and showing your pride for the first layer, go ahead and check out that link I put into the chat. If you're unsure about it, you can go over to our Facebook group and use the link there. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up. You guys saw it earlier in the show. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I've been here since about 9 o'clock this morning, working away, getting things done. My office right now is full of lights, and I've had to move stuff out so I could do the show tonight. And yeah, it's been fun. I really like having you guys here. David Clark, Richard, I see that pattern on the wall in the back of you. How about everyone printing one and sending one in to put up? That'd be a great idea. However, if I release the STL to this, people have asked me a few times to release the STL because I designed that. I'm going to discuss it with Brian and Jess and my wife because she's part of this group as well. And if everybody agrees, we'll release the STL and you guys can modify it to suit yourselves and then send it in to me and we'll put it up on the wall. Thank you very much, Jerry. Thank you. Again, remember, guys, that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. I have to go way over there to shut off the stream. So you guys have a great night. I'm going to shuffle my big butt this way.